Hey guys, this is Christian here, and today we got the Tesla Model S Plaid 2021 edition. And jumping into some of the specs, MSRP is $129,990, though this also does have the full self-driving kind of option, so that's an extra 10K. So this is basically like 140K here. Get into some of the other specs, 0 to 60 about like 2.2 seconds. I know Tesla claims 1.99, but that's with the 1 foot rollout. Besides that, it's about like 4,800 pounds. I think it's like 4,766 pounds. Other things to mention, it's a tri-motor, so it's got 1 in the front and 2 in the back for each wheel basically. And that gets it about 1,020 horsepower, peak horsepower. Pretty insane in my opinion. And I think, yeah, that covers most of the specs. So just jumping onto the outside. So we got this really nice, like deep metallic blue. A lot of other colors that are really nice, like deep colors, but this blue is actually really nice. Going on from the outside, one of the first things we notice is these full self-driving cameras on the outside. They're actually like more protruded. The reason for that, quickly want to just mention, is if you look at the back side of the car, it's actually really wide. You might not be able to tell here on the camera, unfortunately, but it's actually like wider in the back compared to like previous models because of the wider tires in the back. As you can see, they're like 295s in the back and the front's 265s compared to like, I think a 2017 Model S would be about like 245s all around. So going on to here, so we got the big 21-inch and arcade rims. These are a $4,500 option. Really nice, I do like them. Only downside is you will lose a little bit of range. So instead of your expected range in this car, which is about 396 for the Plaid, this will get you down to 348, unfortunately. But I think they look really nice. I'd probably get them. You do lose 50 miles of range, but they're really nice. Getting onto the front side at least, so we got the LED headlights here, really nice. I think they're the same as like the previous gen, but still really good looking. The car just locked because, yeah, just to mention that real quick, the key's in my pocket, but as soon as it detects you kind of getting away from the car, it just like closes it up, and it has the mirror caps where they close up as well too. Next thing, you do see the little tow hook here in case you need that. Maybe you're going to the track. I'd probably take this to the track as well. You will have to be a little bit wary about your range and how fast you might kill it launching so much, but shouldn't be too much of an issue. Next thing I want to mention, you will notice on that side and on here, all the chrome is actually blacked out. Really nice. They did this, I think, as well with the Model Y as well now. Showing you guys the key real quick. So I got the key fob here. So quickly want to just show that for the reason, like there's 3 buttons on here. You might not obviously be able to see them. So there's one on the front, one in the middle, and then one in the back. So to open the front, you just simply just double tap this on the front. And then to open the trunk, you actually just double tap on the back, or click for the most part. And you actually see it open from here. And fortunately, if you do want to close it from the key, you simply just tap it here, or you could also close it. There's a button on the trunk, or there's also closing it up from the inside as well. And simply to unlock the car, double tap here, see that open, and then to lock it, just 1 tap, or walk away from your car if you have that setting on. And then final thing for opening up the front, which what I wanted to do, you simply just tap it here in succession. And then now that this is open, unfortunately, you will have to close it manually, but simply wanted to show this and everything. You do have a little bit of space here, kind of small, but not too much. I won't do a front challenge here. It's kind of really small, no reason for that. Probably won't use this. I feel like not many owners probably use the front because it is pretty small. And it is smaller than the previous models. So getting onto the side here, I do want to mention, if you see from here, from the camera might pick it up, it looks like the top is completely just all black, but it's actually all glass, and you'll see it once we get inside. Jumping onto the rear now, so we do have sensors here on all 4 corners. So you'll notice like there's sensors, these little circles all around the car, and these are kind of just to like sense objects. They use basically sonar, which is where they bounce a sound wave, project it back, and depending on how long it takes, it kind of knows the distance. Back here though, you will see all the chrome again is all blacked out, as you can see, besides the little plaid symbol here. Though I do like, I don't know if you guys have seen it, there's like a red looking, kind of plaid looking symbol back here. So I'd probably get that from like a third party. Back here we have the spoiler, really nice. It's a bit of like a, sort of like a satin, so it's a bit of gloss, but it's like satin looking, I'd say. And then final thing, we got the diffuser down here. Pretty nice, right? Nice and simple, not too aggressive, but I do like it. And then to open up the trunk, you simply, there's like a bit of a button down here. Simply tap here, opens this up, and you can also set like the height so it doesn't go too high. So you can see here, it actually didn't go to the highest. If you want to set it to go higher, kind of just like push it wherever you want it to be, and then you just simply hold this, and you can kind of adjust where you want it to stop every time. Back here we have a lot of space, really a lot of space. Again, it is more of like a hatchback looking design, and it is a hatchback. So you have this kind of just like protects your things from people maybe trying to look inside what you got. And then if you lift this real quick, these are actually by magnets. Pretty cool, nice design. A lot of space here, as you can see. Again, 26 cubic feet of space. And then if you need more space, there's a little bit more space below this. And I do like on this side, if you actually look inside a bit, there's a little bit of like deep space here in case you want to just store something that you need access all the time. Gonna close this back up, and then you have a little bit of like cubby space on this side. There's a bit of like a net. If you want to actually just show that real quick, you could just store some things there. Not too big, maybe you could just store your grocery bags and all that. And from here you can actually see the two little buttons on both sides that actually like shows you if you, in case you want to bring down the seats without going into the second row. And I kind of forgot about the trunk challenge till right now, so let me just do that real quick. And now I'm here in the trunk. There's actually a lot of space, and again, there is like a lot of space below this, but I don't want to open that right now. But yeah, quite spacious, I'd say, even all this space that I have. I know some people even like bring down the seats, get rid of this little thing, and you can actually have like a bed here, kind of like third-party beds, but really cool to have, I'd say, if you go camping and all that. And now back outside, so simply want to just show how to close the door real quick. I'm gonna just bring this back over here. I do like how this kind of like closes as well, completely flat as well. And then by magnets, it just holds it down. And then final thing, just to close this up, button up here, simply just tap it, and it just closes it for you. And then getting onto the side over here, so I do want to mention, if you want to charge your car, unfortunately or fortunately, this doesn't have a gas cap, but here is where basically you would open this up, and then you can charge up your car, depending if you're at a supercharger or you're at home. All right, getting onto the side here, so I do want to mention the door handles. Fortunately, they kept the same ones that kind of just pop out. One way you could open them is just simply walking up to the car. That's one of the features you can have. Another thing is you could just simply just push them in, but you can, let's say, I'm gonna lock the car real quick. So now that they're locked, in case you don't have maybe your key really close, but maybe you have it inside and the car is still unlocked, simply just push it in and it unlocks it. You can do that from all four doors and all that. And simply just open this up real quick. I do want to mention the glass is also thicker, so it gives you a little bit better noise insulation. And then once we have the door open, you will notice all the differences, so I do want to show that a little bit more up close. You got the nice little like plant here, nice mention of the car. You got a little wood trim, though this can also be configured to carbon fiber as well. Got nice white interiors we'll see inside once we get there. Really nice. I do like the white a lot. I like the contrast a lot compared to like, let's say, the black interior. Sure, it's nice, but the contrast is really nice to have, and I think this probably gets the most compliments out of the three. There's a cream as well, though I'd probably pick this, but the chrome is probably a nice runner-up to this. And then I do want to mention a little bit of cubby space here, so you want to store maybe a water bottle down here, you'll be completely fine on fitting this here completely. And then final thing here, I want to mention the black door sill. So previously these used to be more of like a chrome looking color, and now these are like a nice like kind of glossy metallic black looking. Though I do wish they were kind of illuminated, that would look really cool, but completely fine. All right, final thing I want to mention before we get inside. So if you look down here, you actually have your seat adjustment control. So while you're inside the car, simply just reach onto your left side, and you got your lumbar support. You can control the back side of your seat, and then also the bottom side of the seat. So you can simply just raise the seat, or you can also tilt the front side of the seat lower or higher in case you want more of a bucket side feeling. And just jumping into the car real quick. All right, so getting inside the car, obviously one of the first things you'll notice is obviously the screen, but obviously, of course, right in front of you is a big yoke steering wheel. Really different than what we're used to, of course, so it's probably gonna get some used to. I know it's probably gonna get a lot of backlash, though once you start driving it, like with anything like muscle memory, you probably will get used to it. But jumping into some of the controls here, so you have this, you probably think this is a horn, but when you push it, it actually does nothing. And if you do want to use it, actually have it up here. And then you have the little time thing. I'm not actually sure what this does. And then you also have your windshield wipers. And then if you want to talk to the car, maybe adjust your AC controls, maybe call a friend or set the radio or anything like that. Any of like the controls on the car, you can also just talk to the car. And then on the left side, you also have these two kind of your blinkers, of course, your left side and your right side. And to use that, the way you use it, if you kind of like lightly hold it, it'll just hold it while you're using it. But if you wanted to actually hold there the whole time, as you'd expect on like when you pull it on a stock, you kind of just like push it in a little deeper and it'll hold it for you. And to turn it off, you simply just press one or the other. So I'll just press the same one and it'll turn it back off for you. And then up here, of course, you have your high beams, and then you also have your two wheels. These kind of, depending on what's on the screen, they'll control different things. On the left side, you can control your volume, so you can go up and down. And then if you want to go left on your song or previous or next, you just kind of go right or left. You might not be able to see it too much, but you can also move this left or right. On your right side, you can kind of adjust your FSD, so your full self-driving controls. I won't get into that too much. There's obviously a ton to cover, but yeah, right above this, as you can see your screen really easily because this doesn't have like the wheel thing as you'd expect. So really easy to see your controls. You can see your percentage of your battery, your temperature, the time outside. So right now it's 9:17. Right above that, you might be able to see it here or over there as well. You also have like your walnut kind of trim as well. Really nice to have. A little bit of chrome on below that, and then you also have your white interior, as you can see here and there, or even on the center console. So jumping onto the center screen here, we actually have a ton of controls. I won't cover everything. There's actually way too much. I probably could honestly spend like hours kind of going into every little thing. But just jumping into some of the things here. So you have the controls here. You have your lock, your front, your trunk, the usual things that you probably need for the most part. And all that, your wipers in case you want to use them from here, your mirrors, your steering wheel in case you want to adjust that. We actually have these two Qi wireless charging down here, so quickly want to just show those. Pretty useful, like maybe you don't have your cable, maybe your friend wants to charge your phone. You simply just put your phones there, kind of put that one upside down, but it'll charge both of them at the same time and everything. You can actually see maybe that both phones are charging, and really nice to use. And I don't know the charging speed, but pretty nice. Right below that, you see also your emergency lights. You simply just press that and it turns them on. And then besides that, I do want to mention maybe your screen turns off and you can control your park and drive your whole window basically, which is on the screen. You also have it down here. A little hard to see, but when you press on it, if it lets me, press the brake real quick. And you can also see the Prindle, so PR and D, of course. Quickly can just leave it in park as we want to. And then right below this, I do want to show a little bit better angle. So I do want to mention here on the center console, we also have this like nice walnut decor. And if you want to open this, you open it manually, open it up here. You can even stop here, or you can go all the way and open it to here as well. Here we have a little bit of cubby space, really nice to have in case you want to store some small things. And then right behind that, we also have your cup holders as well. And I don't have my Starbucks cups unfortunately this time, but I do have my Costco water bottles. Again, this isn't a sponsored post or anything, but simply just put them here. Really easy to use, and that's it. In case you don't want them here, maybe you want to have this closed, pull these out. You can actually slide this open, so you can move this out of the way, move this out of the way, and then kind of just put them in there. And you can actually see there's a ton of space, so you can actually put quite a bit of water bottles. So if you're going on a long trip with kids or anyone, or you want to be that cool Uber, or maybe you just want to always have water bottles, yeah, a lot of space, a little bit of lighting in there. And you might not be able to see it right behind here, it's kind of fine, but there is also two USB fast charging ports as well too. So we're going to close this up real quick as well, just to show you. Simply just push it in, opens that up, push this one, opens that. And then what it always does here is if you want to close this, you actually have to do it twice. So it closes it halfway, pop it another time, and it closes it all the way as well too. So that finishes that. Tons of things, of course. Final thing I want to mention is that you have your armrest here in white interior, really nice to have. It's actually closed down by magnets. To open it, just simply lift it up. And they have a little bit more cubby space down here. It's lit in here too, pretty nice to have. I want to store a little bit more things, but cool to have. Gonna close this up real quick. I do want to mention there is also a camera up here, right above your rear view mirror. I don't believe they're using it yet, but eventually that will get used as well. And then a couple final things up here. You got your Alcantara headliner, really nice to have. You usually see these again in like Ferraris, Lambos, and all that. And then opening up the rear, your vanity mirror up here. So you have this here, a little flap. Feels a little flimsy though, it's kind of fine. It is pretty nice for the reason that you have the little nice lights on the side, and then quickly just closing that up. Close this. And then you also have your lights up here. And the way you turn these on, actually, I'll show this one up here. It might be a little close, but simply just push it, turns it on, tap it again, and it turns it off kind of slowly, which is pretty nice. And I think that covers up the front. Actually, there's one more thing. So you also have your AC vent. So you actually don't see, it looks like there's no vent here. It looks kind of like there's just glass. But the way it does it, kind of just like, it does a really cool thing how it just like shoots the air. And if you remember from our Honda video, is this thing might look like just like a full, I don't know, it looks like a full vent, and it actually is the full vent. So you get air from the whole left side all the way to the right side. And it's the same here on the driver's side as well. So this, you might not be able to see any vents, but the vents is actually on the top and the bottom. Doing some physics, the air will point at certain directions and it'll just blow it at you. So really cool to have. So jumping onto the rear now. So this is already in my driver's side position, as I've always mentioned. And you can also see my knee room. Pretty nice, I'd say. I actually like this a lot. Really easy. And then you can also see, if you kind of get in here a little bit, you can see the really nice like all glass roof, which is really expansive, a bit dark. So You would worry that this might be too much light that it lets in at night, or I guess during the daytime, but it's completely fine. Seats are comfortable. You can see 3 adults back here, kind of fine as well. A lot of headroom, I'd say. Yeah, pretty nice. And then you also have speakers all around the car. I think this has about like 22 speakers. It's got like a 960 watt system, and it also has active noise cancellation. So kind of just has microphones inside the car, listens to the surroundings of the car, and kind of offsets like those noises you don't want to be inside the car, of course. 2 little things I want to mention here. You have your lights here, of course. So just press those to turn them on. You have little hooks as well too. Close that up. And then final thing I want to mention, we have a little screen here in the center that everyone's been talking about. So before I get into the screen, of course, now, so final thing I want to mention here, so right below this, if you pan down a little bit, you can also see 2 USB-C kind of ports here. Pretty cool to have if you want to charge your laptops or your phones or anything like that. And then right above this, of course, you can adjust the music from the front back here. You can also play with your AC. So in a sense, this is like a climate controls. You could have one climate control for your front driver's side, your passenger, and then also back here. And then you can also play with that. So your music, your AC controls, you can, the same as the front, you can play with it. These are the same way you can do with the front. You can also make them together. I was kind of playing with this for a while, as you can see. And then you can also put on the seat warmers back here, or the 3 pieces of bacon as well. Or you could just turn them all off too. And then final thing here, you also have your things here. So you have Netflix, Hulu, YouTube, and Twitch. And I know they're adding Disney Plus soon as well, if you want to have your kids watching that. I do want to mention, if you want to have your kids, let's say, watching a video back here, you won't be able to have like separate like audio in the back, but you can have them, whatever, you just have to listen to their little cartoons and all that, unfortunately, but completely fine. And then final thing I want to mention is there is also an armrest. So there's a button behind this seat at the top. Bring this down, of course, and then you also have 2 more cup holders. So if you want to have 4 Starbucks cups, you can do that, fortunately, in this car. And then right besides this, or right behind this, pull this up, and you also have 2 more wireless charging. So you can also just charge like 4 complete phones in this car the whole time. And then you also have a little bit of cubby space here, of course, too. Really small, but maybe you can just throw something small back there. Closing this back up, simply just fold this, and I think that covers the inside of the car. Yeah, there's a ton of features. All right, so I simply want to show you guys how to put the car in drive or reverse as well. So simply just hold this with the brake, of course, as well. This will put it into reverse, and you can actually go backwards, and you can actually see the rear view camera here, nice and big, and you can also see your sides as well. And if you want to go forward, put it into drive, and you can actually see it's actually now in drive on this side. And now just getting into drive right away. So just simply just hold this down, put my lighters on, and then just change lanes, and that's it. And then yeah, the yoke steering wheel, sure, it's a bit odd. Again, I will say it's a lot of muscle memory, so as soon as you just start using it, you get used to it over time. It is a little different. Maybe you're used to the whole wheel, you always know exactly where the wheel is always going to be, but it's still pretty easy to use. I think my only gripe with the steering wheel, honestly, is I wish they were physical buttons, and like kind of like these blinkers are a little hard to get used to. I'm slowly gotten used to them, but I'm still like having issues with sometimes pressing them. Besides that, I think your controls are completely fine. Like your audio controls are pretty easy, your horn's up there, and yeah. And as you can see here, you can actually see the lanes on the road. I won't show autopilot too much, but simply here, I know it is going straight, but it's actually doing both controls, so it's doing the speed and everything for me. It shows a little bike lane on the side too. There's not really much that it's showing here. Hey guys, so we're gonna do the launch now. So I actually have my friend here, the same guy, my videographer. It's actually Dan Mel. Yeah.
I do my best, guys. I'm sorry.
Yeah, he's always my videographer. If he makes any mistakes, blame him. But honestly, he does a good job, so I do like what he does. But besides that, do a little quick launch control for you guys with Plaid mode. I won't do the launch everything, but I'm just gonna do just simply from park and then just go crazy on it. So if you guys are ready for this.
Preparing myself too. I already know how this goes.
Yeah, so usually you want to just keep your head back if you don't want to get I don't know, like hurt yourself. But yeah, simply just put it in drive, just hit it.
Oh shit. Oh my god. Where's that? Oh shit. That was a little shaky. Definitely shaky here. Definitely shaky.
That was pretty. It's even messing up my voice.
That's
oh
amazing.
Yeah.
This is like a roller coaster, honestly.
This is crazy. The first time we did it, oh my god, I did it for not even half a second. I was like, it scared me. Like I've been like Ferraris, Lambos. Oh my God, this thing's like different level. Like if you can really experience one of these, even just a launch, you'll love the feeling of it.
If you want also a good comparison, whoever's been to Six Flags and ridden Superman, it's kind of like that.
Yeah, and I'll do one more quick launch and just do a quick, just a little bit. So you guys are ready?
Jesus Christ. Woo!
That thing's insane. If if you're having a sad day or a bad day, just getting your Plaid if you can get one. Oh my God, you probably enjoy this a ton. All right, as for my review on this beast of a vehicle, honestly, the Tesla Model S Plaid 2021 edition, a couple things you obviously know about it, or it's gonna get known about, is that crazy, like the launch is just insane. Again, that 1,020 horsepower. That's really like, it's crazy. Like the best way I describe that launch is like, it's mental in my opinion. It's fast, it's brutal, but it's mental, the way it feels and all that. Any reactions that I got from it are pretty insane. Besides that, obviously the couple other things I want to mention is the yoke steering wheel, a bit subjective. I do wish those controls were kind of more like physical buttons, as like other YouTuber mentioned, Marcus Brownlee. That's probably my only thing. The steering wheel does take a little bit of time to get used to, but it's a bit just like muscle memory. You'll get used to it and all that. The screen in the center is pretty cool, a little bit higher like pixel density, so it is nice as well for viewing. Screen in the back, kind of useful of course if you want to adjust your AC controls or the music from the back, and of course also your heating as well. And then besides that, you have a ton of space in the back. Again, 26 cubic feet, so you can actually store a ton, get groceries, anything. Front, you also have a little bit of space, not too much, maybe just a little carry-on or something you want to just always have on you, but you don't use too much. And then besides that, you also have air suspension, really smooth, ventilated seats on the front, heated on all 5 seats. But yeah, there's tons of things to mention. I probably didn't even get to everything. There'll probably be other YouTubers that will mention everything, but amazing car for the price, 130K, and in a sense this could keep up or even beats like a Bugatti Chiron. So it's beating $3 million cars, and instead of just enjoying, let's say, a Bugatti with one friend on the side of you, you can enjoy it with another 4 friends, and you can still get groceries or go to work. This would be basically your daily hypercar in a sense, in my opinion, but amazing car. Alright guys, hope you guys enjoyed the review. Again, on Tesla Model S Plaid 2021 edition, again in deep metallic blue, white interior. And I do want to mention again, that crazy Plaid launch, that's probably going to be a big like key for people buying this car. It's amazing. Unfortunately, I do know like the wait's about to like January or March even to get one of these, but if you can get your hands on one of these, I think you'll love it, or even as a rental or anything, whatever you can do, you'll love this. Quick launch. It will brighten up anyone's day, honestly. Anyone who got into the car, pretty amazing. But besides that, hope you guys liked the video. If you guys can like and subscribe, helps me out a ton. Lets me get vehicles like this all the time. It lets me review them for you guys, and I kind of really enjoy this, so thank you again for all the subscribers so far. I think we hit 100 recently, and the views are pretty up there, so thank you for that too. Besides that, I hope you guys liked the video. I do post weekly, and till next time.